Do you understand how I'd make the determination by virtue of the fact that you're white, you seem to get housing, and by virtue of the fact that I'm black, I have to jump through hoops? Do you understand how I might make that determination?
Yeah, but I don't think like that because when
No,
I've
you
been
don't have
homeless,
to think like that because
seen,
you're a white man.
No, the thing is that when I've been homeless, I've seen like people that I know, they're all white, so I don't really think there's like a race thing to it. But he does.
You wouldn't think there's a race thing, but I know there is a race thing to it. By virtue of the fact that you are white and I'm black.
Kids, no people having kids and getting housed.
Well, I've got a child.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like,
and he's 12, so it just goes to show that I've been waiting for them to do something for a mightily long time, doesn't it? You know, if he was 18 months old, then it's, oh, she's one of those, she's gone and dropped a kid just so she can get a council place.
See, I signed up when I was 18, but then they told me that all that time my council points were forged or whatever, so they made me restart it again. So I would have got it a few years back.
You see, this is what I know. When somebody like Wimpy give the council or give the country a shed load of money to say build 100 houses, 40% of them get given to the council to house people that are not going to be able to get on the mortgage ladder, because there aren't any jobs in this country, let's just be honest. So, of that 40%, you're entitled to one of those houses. As I've explained, by virtue of the fact of your skin colour, you've been allocated one of those houses, and I hope you're very happy there. I shouldn't have to fight to get mine. Hi.
Get a free cubicle for you.
Say that again, sorry?
You can see if there's a cubicle free to see you in, okay?
That's great, thank you.
See, I had to kick up a fuss as well.
I shouldn't have to kick up a fuss.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to kick up a fuss.
No, but if you don't kick up a fuss and it looks like they don't...
No, see what it is, they want me to kick up a fuss and then they can phone the police and say, oh, this lady's really truculent, and I've had all that before. You know, I'm not being aggressive to you. Number 3, thank you. James.
Get somewhere with them.
Oh, I better get somewhere. Thank you, James. And I apologize if you felt I was a bit intrusive, I just wanted to... Thank you.
Grab a seat.
Hi.
Carry on.
Every circumstance is different, I understand that. I was just talking to that gentleman out there called James, and the first thing I noticed is when I turned up, the lady, oh, you have to go to Gateway because you need an appointment. And I thought, well, I sent an email, it's very clear. And then James arrived, and he said, oh, I'm here to see such and such. She didn't even ask him if he had an appointment, and then she allowed both of us graciously to come through. So that's the one point I want to make, that he was just, you know, passed through, and I seem to have to jump through hoops just to have this opportunity to have a conversation with you. Now, James has just explained to me that he was homeless, and I thought, oh, I can identify with that because I too was homeless. James has 2 children, but they don't live with him. I have 1 child, but I would like to live with me if I'm housed by the authority, which you have a legal obligation and a moral obligation to do. I'm also versed with the fact that, having known people that work in the building trade, I know that, for instance, Wimpy Homes, if they build 100 houses on a development, they will allocate the local authority or the local housing authority, and these are to do with LHAs. And the reason I speak like this is because I've worked in local authorities, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. I realise the legislation might have changed over the last few years that I'm not abreast with, but I do like to keep up with the law. So you guys kind of get 40%, and that 40% are for people that are never likely to be able to get a job, to secure a mortgage, to get one of the 60% houses. So they fall into the 40% bracket. I'm not asking for a mansion. I'm not asking for a penthouse suite overlooking the ocean. All I'm asking for is to be housed by this local authority without having to jump through hoops. Now, I came along to Southampton about 10, 11 weeks ago and filled out all the required forms. The lady said to me, within 30 days we will have dealt with some of the paperwork, and we anticipate within 6 weeks we will be able to house you. That was 2.5 months ago that statement was made. I've also gone online and filled in all the required forms in case there's anything that was amiss in my face-to-face application. I would just like to know when this authority... Oh, and the other thing is, when I worked for local authority, I worked for the local borough of Tower Hamlets, and I also worked for the London Borough of Hackney, so I didn't work for any hick authorities. Now, when I worked for these authorities, back in the day, they ran on things called KPIs. Do you know KPIs?
Key performance indicators.
That's right, key performance indicators. And at the time, because I was only a junior member of staff, I thought, oh, what's all this highfalutin stuff? And it's things like you had to answer the phone within a certain amount of rings, and you had to answer correspondence in a certain amount of certain time frame. And I distinctly remember that we had to answer correspondence, because most of it was computer generated, within 2 working days. You cannot imagine how absolutely bamboozled I was this morning when I got an out-of-office reply, because I sent it about midnight. I got an out-of-office reply to say that we anticipate to answer your correspondence within 5 working days. And I thought, oh my God, gosh, everything's gone bizarre. We're more computerised than we ever have been in our entire history, and it's taken longer to answer correspondence. Now, if it said we anticipate to answer your query within 2 working days, that would have been annoying but acceptable. But 5 working days, really? So, that's that side. I just want to know the progression of my application and whether I'm going to be allocating the housing, or really am I just wasting my time because this authority has absolutely...
Quick word, Martin. Yeah. I'll just let you finish.
Okay, absolutely no intention of housing me. And then I have to look at, he's a white man, and I don't want to be disparaging. He's a white man and he seems to have got housing just like that. I'm a black woman with a 12-year-old son, and I'm having to jump through hoops. Now, the girl suggested I go down to the homeless unit, and I'm thinking, well, why on earth would I do that? Because I already submitted an application. Why am I going down that road again? Does this authority think it's funny to keep me jumping through hoops just to get housing? Does this authority think it's funny that sometimes, because I'm so stressed by the situation, I can barely breathe in the morning, and I've had to call 999 on more than one occasion in the last month because I cannot breathe through the stress that this authority is causing? How long do I have to wait to be rehoused? What is the progression of my application? Why is Guildhall sitting empty? Why are there so many empty properties up and down Southampton that I'm aware of? Why can someone with the empty property list, and it's not rocket science, it really isn't rocket science, this is how I would run things.
Sorry to interrupt you just 1 second. Can I just borrow you? Terribly sorry, it's just a call. I need an urgent word.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So, you've obviously asked me lots and lots of questions there.
Well, no, there's just one. Where is my application? How far has it got? And if you could be courteous enough, notice that word, courteous, to say, Mrs. Goodridge, we anticipate that it might be another week, another month, another 55 million years. Just so I've roughly got a picture in my head of how long this entire process takes. Because as I said, that 29-year-old white man who doesn't have any children with him seems to have got housed within a nanosecond with you guys. Now, this is not the first year I've been to you. I came to you last year, got the runaround. I came to you the year before, got the runaround. And I seem to be getting the runaround with you today. So, 2 things I'm going to ask you. When do you anticipate that you're going to house me?
Yeah.
And a very detailed response why Guildhall is sitting empty when you guys, I know, got 40% of the biscuit, if not more.
Sorry, why Guildhall? Which building were you referring to?
Guildhall. It's a huge, great big structure. It's almost like the pyramids of Giza, actually. It's a huge, great big structure that sits right. If I come out of your building and I turn left, I only have to walk about 10 yards, and I turn to my right, and wow. I look at that building at night, and it's not lit up.
Let me find out for you.
Thank you. What's your name, by the way?
Martin Buckmaster.
Martin
Buckmaster.
Buckmaster. Thank you. So it's coming up 3 o'clock and I've got to be 3:15, 3:20, it's 5 minutes away. So they've got 10 minutes to pull some sort of, cobble together some sort of excuse. Hiya. Martin, I can't remember his name.